interesting to examine the imagery with which we have been conditioned to associate with animals. The innocent little bat has been portrayed as a blood-sucking monster. And the poor little fox, he's got a reputation for slyness and for cunning. Now, the ad men have copped onto our preconceived images of animals to use to sell their products. Nowadays, monkeys sell tea. Labrador puppies, they do incredible things with toilet paper. And 2 scotties have become associated with a well-known brand of whiskey. And now, an old English sheepdog from Kilkenny has become famous for selling paint.
Must trot around and inspect the property scene. Now that's what I call a gorgeous gloss. Oops, paw-proof too? No drips. Now isn't that brilliant? Dulux brilliant white solid emulsion by the looks of it. The neighbors would think she hired an interior decorator. You need a good coat in this climate, don't you?
There's a good girl. No, there's a little doll, aren't you? Yes, you are.
Well, Geraldine, this is the way you normally sit when you're watching television at night, is it?
Yes, that's right.
You have your fan club with you?
That's true. All my family around me.
Wall-to-wall dogs?
Wall-to-wall dogs, and wouldn't have it any other way.
Tell me, how did Sprocket get his first chance?
For the ad, you mean? For the
Yeah, to be a big show personality.
Oh, he was being shown on Patrick's Day of, this year, and he probably looked fantastic, or Jerry Coleman thought he looked fantastic anyway, and thought that he was the most beautiful one there and picked him out. And he stayed for the rest of the show, and the judge agreed with him. So I think that confirmed his decision.
So he moved from then into the high life?
That's right, he did.
Tell me, whose idea was it to get an old English sheepdog in the first place?
Well, I'm afraid it probably was me. My best friend at the time sent me a beautiful card for my birthday with an Old English on the front of it. Now, I didn't even know what breed it was at the time. And I sort of looked up a dog encyclopedia and found out it was an Old English sheepdog. I went to the local show and said, oh gosh, a real live teddy bear, this is what I want, you know? And we searched in the papers, and we found an ad for Bella. And we got her 11.5 years ago, and there she is. You know, and
she's a fine example.
She is indeed. We're very fortunate that she's still with us, because many of them don't live to be that age.
No, indeed. Seamus, the dog's coats are in particularly fine condition. Has this resulted from any particular approach that you have?
Well, we think keeping them in the house is very important, because you're always on top of coat for knots or anything else. There's, you know, when you're sitting down looking at television, you're rubbing your dogs, and you find the knots, and you can just deal with them, you know, straight away.
Now tell me, where do they sleep?
Oh dear. The ones that we're showing, I'm afraid, I have a terrible confession to make, they actually go up to our bedroom. It's very important for the coats as well that they're with you all the time, because if they started to scratch or something in the night, untold damage could be done by morning, and we couldn't have that. Each puppy we get, we say, well, it's never going to happen. This one is not coming upstairs, you know. But I'm afraid it happens. And just before the last show, we have a new 7-month-old puppy, and up he came as well.
Well, you have a new batch of stars in the making outside.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Is there any possibility of all of them moving into the bedroom as well?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, into somebody else's bedroom, probably.
Seamus, I don't think there's going to be much room for you, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is that the amateur who thinks they can buy an Old English sheepdog such as this on my lap here, and hope that they're automatically going to achieve a coat such as this are living in a fool's paradise.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. It's taken us, I mean, so many years to get, you know, to get a dog to this perfection.
It's a lot of attention, it's a lot of skill.
Yes.
And it does not come easily.
It certainly doesn't.
I think that's a very valid point, and it's probably a point which is well worth making in this programme. That people should not be over-emotional and buy pets such as Old English sheepdogs simply because they're visually attractive.
That's true, they should never. And as well as that, people buy them as pets for their children. I mean, children of 8 and 9 years old, which is ridiculous. Well, they expect the children to assume responsibility for them. And I don't think any child under the age of 14, 15 would be able to assume responsibility for the coat in particular. I mean, otherwise they're very much like any other dog, but it's the coat that makes the difference.
Sprocket, of course, makes a number of personal appearances by children of all ages.
That's right.
Tell me about these personal appearances that Sprocket makes.
Well, I think Seamus was on the last one, the most exciting one
Yeah,
of all.
we went down to a promotion down in New Ross, you know, and when we arrived down there, there was queues of people there, you know, and that was really the first one that Sprocket did after making the commercial. And I thought it was a festival or something that was going on, you know, and there was, you know, rows of people and their kids and all that just out to see him, you know.